Hello, and welcome to another video. This might actually be my first video, but I'm not 100% sure when I'm uploading this, so we'll see. Anyway, if you're clicking on this video, I assume you've heard about the news that Game Freak had announced last week during the Nintendo Treehouse live session at E3. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me give you a quick recap. During the gameplay session for Pokemon Sword and Shield, Junichi Masuda, one of the game's producers and founding members of Game Freak, had announced that...
And after a lot of discussion, we decided to come to kind of a new direction. And so what that means for Pokemon Sword and Shield is that players will be able to transfer their Pokemon from Pokemon Home only if they appear in the Galar region Pokedex.
This sent shockwaves throughout the Pokemon community, as Pokemon players both old and new were really looking forward to be able to transfer the Pokemon that they might have caught during Pokemon Go, or throughout the main franchise games. Now, in an effort to keep this video light and upbeat, I won't really talk about my stance on this issue, which... I mean, that's really what it is at this point. It's a huge controversy. I mean, the Pokemon community is largely split in half because you have these players who are not at all fazed by this news and who, of course, will buy the game. But then you have this large chunk of the fan base who are vehemently upset by this news. Let's try to keep it positive, though. So the beauty of this situation is that fans have taken to Reddit to share their creative ways of sneaking past the Galar Border Patrol, affectionately referred to as Dexit, which, for those of you who don't really watch the news, is a play on Brexit, which is too large a topic for me to talk about in this video alone. To the memes! Let's get this show on the road. Post number 1, Galar Border Shenanigans. Oh, this is such a good first one to get us started. And Galar Border, please have your Galar Dex entry ready. Look at this crazy long line of Pokemon who are just waiting to get past that border. Galar Border Patrol. Sorry, mate, you're not in the Galar Dex. Can't let you through. A Lucario. A fine example of a strong, fierce Pokemon with a Galar Pokédex entry. Yes, Lucario, that's me. Before you go in, though, you don't mind a quick test, do you? Test? Pangoro used Karate Chop. Zoroark's illusion broke. Poof. Arceus, damn it. Poor guy. Can we take a second to appreciate those cute little pillow swine? Look at that little guy, he just wants to get past the border. The comments are equally as impressive for this post. Zoroark's pretty impressive, but Sceptile is a true master of disguise. Barely noticed it. What Sceptile? Is it hiding somewhere behind the perfectly ordinary Charizard? Charizard? Look at that Sceptile, he's painted orange. Sceptile is a grass type and its tail is on fire in order to pose as a Charizard. That is commitment. That Charizard Sceptile was a lovely touch. What Sceptile? Yeah, all I see is a perfectly normal Charizard. Shout out to Sceptile for lighting his tail on fire to make it convincing. Desperate times call for desperate measures. If Sudowoodo ever learns Minimize, you betcha he's gonna sneak into Galar. Oh my god, so this works out perfectly only because Dynamaxing is a thing. If Sudowoodo could learn Minimize, he could easily disguise himself as that little twig branch accessory thing that's hiding in a Grookey's hair. Don't mind me just getting my Umbreon into Galar. See, and this is where fans are getting really creative now. They're starting to like take regular Pokemon concept art and then recoloring it to make it look like another Pokemon, and this is where the creativity is really starting to take off. Just an ordinary Umbreon, no big deal, right? Officer Jenny, I assume. Alright, but first may I hear its cry? Oh, it's got a cold. You know, because of Galar weather. Ah, makes sense. You may pass now. Don't mind me, officer. I'm just going into Galar with my Corviknight. Oh, this makes me so happy. Shadow Lugia is such a throwback, my goodness. I have so much love for Pokemon XD and Coliseum. The Ore region is seriously long overdue for a visit. I cannot believe that we haven't had another main storyline game on a home console since XD Gale of Darkness. Those games were like so edgy and so much harder than I imagined them to be when I was a kid. I don't think I ever actually beat Coliseum. I know I beat XD Gale of Darkness because I remember catching Shadow Lugia, which was also harder than I thought it was gonna be. But the games were so edgy. Like, in how many Pokemon games do you actually get to play as an ex-member of the criminal organization? And how many Pokemon games do you catch Pokemon by stealing them from other players? Like, come on, that is freaking awesome. The crazy thing about XD and Coliseum is that because, you know, there was a set number of Pokemon that you could, you know, steal from other players, you kind of had to work with what you were given. By forcing us to use this bank of shadow Pokemon, you know, I ended up actually like building relationships and developing this love for some Pokemon that I probably otherwise wouldn't have ever considered even catching in the main Pokemon game. And I'm so passionate about this because I really love those two games. I'm just like devastated that we haven't had, you know, a sequel to XE Gale of Darkness. Like, come on. Oh my god. I'm getting off my soapbox now. Just your average Onix passing on through. Nothing suspicious whatsoever. Could you imagine, like, at the actual Galar border, you just see, like, this long string of Geodudes all just, like, clinging on to one another, with, like, a Mega Golem just, like, at the head. The comments again. Yes? Is something wrong, officer? Yes. That Onix actually is on a white background instead of the normal brown and gray one. Oh, well, of course. Oh, we had to get his ID taken in an area where the lighting was better. I'm watching you. Thank you, officer. Have a nice day. These are so stupid. Look, I don't see a problem here, officer. It's just a Wooloo. My goodness, how do you disguise, like, the god of all Pokemons as a sheep? You know, this genetic mutation looks a lot like our god, Arceus. I can assure you, it's not Arceus. Officer, it's just our lord and savior, Wooloo. That checks, you're free to enter. Dragonite, you must mean my XL Flygon. Look at this cutie. Oh my god. That's a perfectly normal Flygon. So he's gotten a little chubby. He's had a few extra munchies. He's got a little extra chonk on the belly, but that's okay. That's okay. We still love him. This is a body positivity, Flygon approval safe zone. We will not be judging a dragon type for the size of their tummy. Look at those cute little scales on its tail. It's adorable. Honestly, thank God that Flygon's already been approved for the Galar Pokédex. Flygon and Golurk are two of my favorite Pokemon, and I am so relieved that they already have made it through the border. The Pokemon fan base, when it was announced that Sword and Shield wouldn't have a National Dex. Basically. Yes, here's my ID. Now if you'll excuse us, I mean me. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, this is so ridiculous. Look at it. Just an ordinary Zacian, you know, just passing through, legendary of the Galar region, no big deal. It's a freaking Suicune, and what is that? Is that a Mega Pidgeot? And an Aegislash? It's like the Suicune is holding the Aegislash in his mouth, and the Pidgeot's just like straddling Suicune. What a mess. We need a Pokemon game where the villain team are smugglers trying to sneak in Pokemon not in the regional decks. Make it happen. Don't know how many people like Ampharos, but I'm hoping this lad will get into Sword and Shield. Aww, what a cutie. See, here's the thing with Ampharos. Ampharos, like, has to get into the Galar Pokédex. Why? Because you've got a Wooloo in the game. And you know how many gamers have already now fantasized of having a double battle with a Wooloo on one side and a Mareep on the other? You can't just destroy that fantasy now that you've set it up for us. You can't just do it to us. Alright, let's see. What is next? What is next? Let's be honest. We're not that shocked about Game Freak's current mess. Oh god, here we go. Pokemon fans, no wasted potential today? What's the matter? Oh, I'll show you wasted potential! Her face! Oh, I'll show you wasted potential. Look at that! Pokemon Sword and Shield. Oh my goodness. This subreddit is poppin'. I was prepared for the typical mistakes Game Freak makes with the Pokemon games. I was not at all prepared for such a major catastrophe for all future games. I expected main game basically hand-holding you with cutscenes, bare bones post-game, if any, XY copy-paste graphics and animations. What I got 400 plus pokes removed from the game. I expect nothing and I'm still let down. Alright, next up, my fave Pokemon. Me if Circuitry is getting into Galar. Me if Circuitry isn't in Sword and Shield. Aw, he looks so happy. Look at him just frolicking. It's so easy to imagine him just skipping through a field of pansies or flowers or I don't know what. Some really nice flower field or something. He looks so happy though, you can't deny that. But then he looks so angry and scary, he's just like... you know, whether or not Ultra Beasts are gonna make it into Sword and Shield is really a toss-up. Like, they played such a specific role in Sun and Moon that it's kind of really hard to imagine them being shoehorned into Sword and Shield. I'm not entirely sure if there's really a place for them. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a mild obsession with Buzzwole. I would kill to have that sucker on my team, but I'm not sure if that's gonna happen with Sword and Shield, and I mean, that's why we're on this subreddit at this point. I mean, that's why we're here, because we're not happy about our favorite Pokemon not making it into the game. Yeah. As much as I love the Ultra Beast, I highly doubt that they'll be in Galar. Yeah, that's exactly what I just said. Imagine if Ultra Beasts end up being Generation 7 only. A mechanic returning in the next Pokemon game? Don't be ridiculous! I'll have you know, officer, my Pikachu never skips arm day. My god. He's one of my favorite psychic types. I love Reuniclus. I actually don't really know how to pronounce his name. Reuniclus? 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 Reuniclus. I'm not sure. I love this little guy. He's easily one of my favorite psychic types, and he was definitely a very prominent member of my team during Black and White. How did they do this? I mean, Reuniclus obviously looks like his design is based off a cell. Or a mitochondria. Mitochondria is a powerhouse of a cell. I imagine his body is almost entirely made of jelly. So like, how do you do that? Do you make some pineapple flavored jello and then just smear it on top of Reuniclus and suddenly he's yellow and he looks so happy. He's like, I'm a Pikachu. I'm the game's mascot. Right, everything appears to be in order. I hope you and your Pikachu enjoy your time in Galar. Wait, let me evolve your Pikachu to a Raichu. Gives Thunderstone and doesn't evolve. Wait a minute. He's obviously from Yellow. Alright, next up. Okay. Play the new Pokemon games on console. Take some time to go play Generations I missed due to lack of interest in the new generation. Take some time to check out fun-looking fan games like Uranium, Resolution, Online, and Solar Light Lunar Dark. Use newfound free time to try and make a fan game about smuggling Galar illegal Pokemon into Galar. This is a genius idea, a genius premise for a Pokemon fan game. Like, I never really got into ROM hacks too much, but my goodness, there are some really great creative ones out there, and this is... Shut up and take my money. I really don't see a problem here, officer. It's just a Wooloo. Yes! Another Wooloo! This one's even better than the Arceus one, because you have this gigantic Ultra Beast, and you just, like... You just threw some pigtails on top of it and called it a day. You know, what's funny about this to me is this reminds me when Mega Evolutions first came out, and it's like, we had regular Ampharos, and maybe the game developers were like, how do we take an Ampharos and make it Mega? I know! Let's just give it a wig and call it a day! Which is basically this case. I mean, with Wooloo, they just slapped some pigtails onto a sheep and called it a new Pokemon. Right, everything appears to be in order. I hope you and your Wooloo enjoy your time here in Galar. That is obviously not a gosh dang Wooloo. Wait a minute, you're right. It's actually a Marie. Oi, have you got a Oi, have you got a license for that Wooloo? Wooloo. Wait. Can someone do this with Wailord? Clicks link. When you try to convince the Galar border control, it's just a Woolord. Oh my god. Look at this is really... So, my question is, where do you get that much Wooloo wool to cover an entire Wailord? What happens when the wool gets wet? Does it just like... I don't know, disintegrate or just like start falling apart or unraveling? Dynamax Wooloo. All I want to see is what a Dynamax Wailord looks like. Oh my god, this thumbnail is already just... Nothing, officer. Just trying to enjoy my breakfast in Galar. Oh, that's so good. And the fact that it's animated is just such a nice little cherry on top. Could you just imagine that you're eating breakfast in the Galar region? You know, just a casual Sunday brunch. When you look down at your sunny side up egg, and you see this face just smiling back at you, grinning like it's ready to just take your soul. That breakfast doesn't look ghastly at all. A+ comment right there. There isn't a ghost of a chance that I would eat that. Ha 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 ha. Okay, and we're down to our last post. Haxorus crossing the border to Galar and stopping the illegal Tepig. Oh boy. Oh my god. Oh my god. He just swatted that thing to the side. It's like, you're not getting in. I don't even like Tepig, but my heart... My heart is feeling for that little piggy. Oh my god, the poor little Oshawott just like, are you okay? Are you okay, Tepig? God damn, that was brutal. Alrighty then, and that was our last post for this video. In light of all the controversy surrounding Game Freak's newest decision to remove the National Dex, I feel like we are getting a lot of great quality content from Reddit these days. Question of the day. If you could only bring one Pokemon to the Galar region, which one would you bring? Very on brand for this episode, I think. Well, that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed the Well, that's it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Please feel free to like it. Please feel free. Please feel free to like. Oh my god! Please feel free to like and subscribe. And if you're feeling especially ambitious, hit that little bell icon so you can get notifications whenever I upload my next video. On to the next one. Have a great day, guys. Bye.